A note to our viewers. We received news after our production deadline that actor and martial artist Chuck Norris, star of Walker, Texas Ranger, has passed away at the age of 86 during the third week of March 2026. Scientist Sir Anthony Leggett passed away on March 8, 2026, at his residence in Urbana, Illinois, at the age of 87. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2003 in recognition of his pioneering contributions to the fields of superconductivity and superfluidity, work that significantly advanced humanity's understanding of the universe. Leggett is also being fondly remembered for his many years of dedicated service as a professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, where he influenced countless students and researchers throughout his distinguished academic career. Journalist Ernie Anastas passed away on March 12, 2026, at a hospital located in Mount Kisco, New York. He succumbed to pneumonia at the age of 82. Over the course of several decades, Anastas became a familiar and trusted face in New York City news, serving as an evening news anchor at prominent television stations including WABC, WCBS, and several others. He is also being warmly remembered for his commitment to spreading positivity through his nationally syndicated radio program and podcast, titled Positively Ernie. DJ and radio personality Lord Sear died in March 2026 at the age of 52. He was well known for hosting shows on New York City radio as well as on Sirius XM and played a key role as part of the Stretch Armstrong and Bobo Show, a platform through which he helped launch the careers of celebrated artists such as Biggie S, Malls, Jay-Z, and the Fugees. Lord Sear is also being remembered for his work as a music producer, his participation in Eminem's anger management tour, and for lending his voice to roles within the widely popular Grand Theft Auto video game series. A note worth remembering. There are occasions when personal details, such as a person's cause of death, are not immediately disclosed by their family or the relevant authorities. In situations where a cause of death has not been officially confirmed, does not engage in reporting unverified rumors or speculation. Every family is entitled to their privacy, and that right is always respected. Actress Jane Lapierre died on March 5, 2026, at the age of 81. Throughout her remarkable career on the stage, she earned both a Tony Award and an Olivier Award for her starring performance in Piaf, which stood as just one of many celebrated theatrical roles she took on over her long and illustrious career. Lapierre is also being remembered for her memorable television appearances in acclaimed productions such as The Crown and Downton Abbey, as well as her film work including the movie Lady Jane. Musician Phil Campbell died on March 13, 2026, as a result of complications from surgery, at the age of 64. He served as the longtime lead guitarist for the legendary rock band Motorhead, having joined the group in 1984 and going on to tour and record with them for more than 3 decades. Campbell is also being remembered for the new musical chapter he opened following Motorhead's disbandment, forming Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, a band in which he had the special privilege of performing alongside his 3 sons. Actress Judy Pace died on March 11, 2026, at her home in Marina del Rey, California. She passed away peacefully in her sleep at the age of 83. Pace was a frequently seen presence on television during the 1960s and 1970s, delivering memorable performances on beloved programs such as The Young Lawyers and Peyton Place, as well as a standout starring role in the television movie Brian's Song. She is also being remembered for her contributions to cinema through films including Cotton Comes to Harlem, The Thomas Crown Affair, and 3 in the Attic. Reverend John M. Perkins died on March 13, 2026, at his home in Jackson, Mississippi. He passed away following a prolonged battle with Alzheimer's disease and dementia at the remarkable age of 95. A deeply respected Christian leader and civil rights activist, Perkins devoted his entire life to helping lift people out of poverty while simultaneously sharing the gospel message with those he served. He is being honored for founding the Christian Community Development Association, a powerful network of congregations united in their mission to support and uplift the poor. Perkins also served his country as a United States Army veteran of the Korean War. Musician Augie Myers died on March 7, 2026, at the age of 85. He was a proud founding member of the beloved Tejano supergroup the Texas Tornadoes, a group he formed alongside fellow legends Freddie Fender, Flaco Jimenez, and Doug Somm. With his passing, Myers became the last surviving founder of that iconic group. He is also being remembered as a founding member of the Sir Douglas Quintet, which gained widespread recognition for their memorable 1964 hit, She's About a Mover. TV host and actress Kiki Shepard died on March 16, 2026, at the age of 74. She spent many years as the beloved co-host of Showtime at the Apollo, where she enthusiastically cheered on both professional entertainers and amateur performers as they showcased their talents on the iconic and cherished variety show stage. Shepard is also being remembered for the compassionate and dedicated work she carried out on behalf of individuals battling sickle cell disease through her KIS Foundation. Singer Dolores Keane died on March 16, 2026, at her home in Ireland at the age of 72. She was a founding member of the celebrated Irish folk group De Dannan, known for their rich traditional sound and their popular hit single The Rambling Irishman. Keane is being remembered for her extraordinarily deep and melodic voice, which she used to breathe life into the traditional music of Ireland, and for the meaningful collaborations she shared with artists of the caliber of John Prine and Emmylou Harris. Author Len Deighton died on March 15, 2026, at the age of 97. He earned his greatest recognition through his gripping spy novels, most notably his celebrated debut, The Ipcress File, which was later adapted into a highly successful film starring Michael Caine. Deighton is also being remembered for an entirely different creative contribution, his series of innovative cookbooks aimed specifically at male readers, which introduced his now famous cook strips, recipes he presented in the inventive format of comic strips. He was also a proud veteran of the Royal Air Force. Actor Matt Clark died on March 15, 2026, at his home in Austin, Texas. He passed away as a result of complications from surgery at the age of 89. Clark built a respected career through his appearances in classic Western films, including Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, and The Outlaw Josie Wales. He is also being fondly remembered by fans for his role as Chester the bartender in Back to the Future Part 3. Clark served his country with honor as a United States Army veteran for 2 years. Economist Christopher Sims died on March 14, 2026, at his home in Minneapolis. He passed away from injuries sustained in a fall at the age of 83. Sims was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2011 in acknowledgement of his influential research demonstrating the cause and effect relationships between key economic variables such as interest rates, inflation, and the money supply. He is also being remembered as a distinguished professor at Princeton University, having previously held teaching positions at Harvard, Yale, and the University of Minnesota. This Women's History Month, some of the most moving and remarkable obituaries featured on Legacy.com were not written for celebrities or public figures, but rather for everyday individuals living ordinary yet extraordinary lives. Among them was a multi-talented grandmother from Illinois who spent her life painting houses, fixing nearly anything that was broken, raising 5 children with love and dedication, collecting vintage hot rods, and enjoying a wide-ranging musical taste that stretched from Patsy Cline to Tupac Shakur. Another was a distinguished educator originally from Texas who rose through the ranks to become the president of 2 separate institutions of higher learning, Cypress College in California and St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina. A third was a 98-year-old great-great-grandmother from Virginia, with roots in Pittsburgh and Huntsville, Alabama, whose family described her extraordinary flair for home design by saying she was simply a female. Frank Lloyd Wright. 5 years ago this week, actor Yaphet Kotto died at the age of 81. He was a celebrated star of the television drama Homicide, Life on the Street, and delivered notable performances in films such as Alien and Live and Let Die. 15 years ago this week, singer Ferlin Husky died at the age of 85. His string of hits during the 1950s and 1960s, including Gone and Wings of a Dove, secured him a well-deserved place in the Country Music Hall of Fame. 25 years ago this week, actress and Southern died at the age of 92. She played the beloved character Maisie in a long-running and successful film series and its radio spin-off, and she went on to star in the television programs Private Secretary and The End Southern Show. Singer and songwriter Chester Bennington was born 50 years ago this week. He passed away in July 2017 at the age of 41. He was the iconic lead vocalist for Linkin Park, a band known the world over for powerful songs including One Step Closer and In the End. Actor and comedian Jerry Lewis was born 100 years ago this week. He passed away in August 2017 at the age of 91. He was considered one of the great comedic minds of his generation, starring in timeless films such as The Nutty Professor, and he devoted much of his life to philanthropy, helping raise more than $2 billion through his annual fundraising telethons for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Every week across the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff as a mark of respect to honor Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag tributes. Flags in states across the country have begun to be lowered in honor of the 6 troops tragically killed in a plane crash in Iraq. We honor their names with a respectful moment of silence. Flags in South Dakota have been lowered in memory of former state legislator Darrell Dean Shrimp. Flags in Virginia have been lowered to honor United States Army Corporal Marvin Sylvester Patton, who was declared missing and killed in action during the Korean War, and whose remains were recently identified and returned home for a proper burial. Flags in Virginia have also been lowered in honor of Lieutenant Colonel Brandon Shaw. Flags in Pennsylvania have been lowered in memory of Corporal Timothy J. O'Connor Jr. of the Pennsylvania State Police, who died in the line of duty, and also in honor of Private First Class Christopher Lee Lopez. Flags in Oregon have been lowered to honor former state senator Avel Gordley. Flags in Minnesota have been lowered in memory of Deputy Fire Marshal Shaw Johnson of the Minnetonka Fire Department. Flags in Nevada have been lowered to honor the memory of former Lieutenant Governor Sue Wagner.